Hey folks, it's Will, and I wanted to talk about experience points, also known as XP. So I wanted to talk about how you earn it and where you can spend it. XP is specific to the character that you're playing. When you show up for an event, you get a set number of XP at the start of the event added onto your character. And this stays on your character to do whatever you want with. And it doesn't do anything until you use it. So as far as earning, during your first 12 events at your home game, you get 8 XP per event. After that, you get 4 per event until you hit your 24th event, and then you earn 3 per forever. So for travel players, if you are traveling to a game, you get 2 XP for traveling to that event. This has been kind of flattened out across the network. Previously, you could buy up, you could get extra, and maybe get to that 8. But now everybody gets the same XP opportunity. You get a set number for home, you get a set number for away, and that makes it kind of flat across the board. For cross-network or premier events, that's going to be determined per event. So, look up the details on those. As far as your character sheet, there are basically 4 things that you can, five things that you can invest skills in. That's your body, your mind, your resolve, your infection, and your skills. So with that, body and mind, there's a rate for it. So as it goes higher, it's more expensive to purchase additional points. That's one of the ways we've gotten the system to be able to not be calling damage numbers anymore, and everything be a little more immersive and and stuff like that. But for the first 10 extra points, either in body or mind, that is 1 point. For the next 10 up to 20, it's 3 points. And then every 10, so up to 30, it's 5, up to 40, it's 7, up to 50, it's 9. And if you're getting more than your 51st extra point of body or mind, and that's tacked onto the starting number. So your starting number stays, and then anything extra you purchase past that is what we're talking about as far as cost. 51 and extra is 10 per point. So if you interact with people that have like 50 plus in their pools, they've spent a lot to get there. A lot of role play, which for the role play that's involved to acquire body or mind, something that looks like it is mentally stimulating. That could be debate, could be reading, could be deciphering codes, anything that is mentally engaging. For body RP, anything that's physically engaging is great for that. If you're role playing, work in a forge, if you're role playing, or actually, sprinting back and forth or lifting heavy things, those are all great. So for your mind specifically, your mind will recover at noon and midnight, or also called the 12s. It will recover automatically. You don't have to do anything for it. Your body, on the other hand, you will need some sort of mechanical intervention to get that back. If that's medical skills with the accompanying role play, brews, psychic powers, whatever. That's how you do that. So resolve is another thing you can purchase. Resolve is your ability to do extra cool stuff, and there's a wide variety of extra cool stuff. And resolve has a cap of 6, a character can have a maximum of 6 resolve, and you can buy it up past your starting, and it is a flat 10 XP per point of resolve. So if you start with 4 and you want to get up to 6, you can spend 10 XP twice and get up to 6. Something I discovered recently when rereading this for this video is that if you reach 0 resolve, anything that subtracts resolve, you can't use anymore. You can't use something that costs resolve to use or subtracts resolve. So if you happen to be a fan of a particular, confection, that's not going to work as forever as we thought it would. But it's still useful for people who don't have that specific set of skills, like skills that require resolve activation, because some of the higher end skills require resolve to function. And infection is now a thing you can purchase. It is in the book, and it's 10 XP per, and you can have a maximum of 8 resolve. Different strains and lineages start at different numbers, but if you want, you can just keep adding it on. Now, in order to get it, it requires successfully completing some story element. And that story element will likely have risk for you and other player characters. So make sure you got friends in the apocalypse. It's important. You can send us a story request if that's something you're interested in, because we're happy to make that a thing, because those are big, fun fights. Or, something a little more intimate. I'm cool with that. So we've talked about body and mind, we've talked about resolve and infection, and then let's get to skills. So as I mentioned in a previous video, there are 4 different categories of skill: combat, civilized, wasteland, and anomaly. And there are 3 tiers of skills: basic, proficient, master. To get your first skill of anything is 2 XP. Cool, right? And for any tier 1 skill, basically it's a multiple of 2. Like, to get your first is 2 XP, your second is 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, and then it goes on from there. Now, you don't have to buy all of the combat skills, all of the civilized skills. You can, pick and choose. Once you hit higher experience ratings, right now it shows 50 and 180. If that's incorrect, please correct me. As you hit these higher XP thresholds, you get access to more advanced versions of the skill. That might be a typo. Might be. I'll find out. So for tier 2 skills, it's multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, so on. For tier 3 skills, it is multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And a lot of skills, if you're familiar with the old system, a lot of skills have been kind of compressed into these trees of basic, proficient, and advanced skills. You can get a lot done with basic skills because they've been kind of broadened to include a lot of stuff. However, that's the fundamentals of learning skills. When you are teaching a character how to learn a skill, if you possess the skill, basically anyone can teach you. To learn a basic skill, a tier 1 skill, that's 10 minutes. Tier 2 is 20 minutes. Tier 3 is, 30 minutes. And if you want to go longer, cool. But the role play is something that would make sense for it. If you're teaching somebody medical, having explaining An anatomy lesson is fine, but also opening someone's chest cavity is also fine to explore and say, that's heart, that's kidney, I don't know what that is. That's fine. That's super cool. Make sure that when you're done teaching a skill, you write your favorite number, or you communicate that in some way, which is your player number, to the player on the front side of their sheet so that we can get that updated. Because at the end of every event, when we collect sheets, that is when we update skills, resolve totals, new mind totals, new body totals, new infection totals, make sure that it's all written on the front, because if it's on the back, it might get lost. So that's what I've got for today. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you in the wasteland.